Hello and welcome to episode 91, where we are on the Pan American Highway, tackling 1,500 kilometers of Peru's desert.
We just drove a couple of kilometers and the engine is not running smoothly.
In the last episode, we struggled with the rain in Bolivia and decided to move on. We left the area around the Lake Titicaca at 3,800 meters and headed downhill towards the coast. Our first stop was supposed to be Arequipa, and a long day of driving lay ahead.
They're eating alpaca. Poor alpaca, huh?
As we reached the outskirts of Arequipa, we drove straight into a thunderstorm. So much for escaping the rain. Camping near or in a city is always tricky, but Arequipa is divided by an impressive canyon where we found a place for the night.
Good morning. We made it yesterday to Arequipa. We are at the moment in a sanctuary. The sanctuary is called Virgen de Chapi. And we are actually not here for the sanctuary, but to climb. Literally the wall next to the sanctuary is already bolted, so we're going to climb some routes here and then maybe move to the next climbing sector. After the rains, you can see like everything gets like sandy. And look at the guy. Looks like he just went mining or something.
It felt great to move and stretch after long days of driving and sitting cramped in the car waiting that the rain stops.
Arequipa is very famous for the food, and especially the picanterias, which serve like very traditional food. And Samantha, a friend we met, a Peruvian girl we met in Burlovitos, told us to come to this restaurant and order the traditional dishes. So let's go. Super americano. It's actually the whiskey from the Incas. It was really good, but we ate way too much. At least I ate way too much.
After 3 days in the city, we had checked out 3 different climbing sectors and climbed everything we could whenever it was not raining. Climbing on wet walls is nearly impossible. And the forecast once again showed only rain for the next days. So it was time for us to hit the road again.
The climbing is only an excuse to go have some food in the city. The weather is really, really nice every day.
Ja, weg mit dir, weg, weg, weg. Brother, brother, brother.
No.
This turned out to be one of the most challenging driving days we had, between the approaching night, thick fog and heavy traffic. Normally we don't drive at night, because of the high risks, and here it was even worse. It seemed like tuning had only happened at the front of most cars. Oncoming traffic had bright, misaligned aftermarket lights stuck on high beam, while the rear of the cars, at least on our side, was mostly neglected. Missing or non-working brake lights were a standard. Being blinded by traffic ahead, while not seeing cars braking in front of you, made a nerve-wracking drive. The steep mountainous terrain made it impossible to find a place to camp, so we had to push to the coast. Here the air was thick, the humidity high, and the temperatures didn't drop below 25 at night. It was nothing we were used to after we had spent almost 2 months above 3,000 meters.
We arrived yesterday night at the ocean, specifically at the town of Mollendo. It's quite a big place, but we are here because there could be some surf. But we still need to check the area. They told us that most probably this wave is like closing out, but let's see if it's true, if it's working, and how does even people surf this wave. From here we will continue towards Lima. We still have 2 weeks until we have to be in Lima, so we still need to figure out where we're going to stay and so on. So let's go. Like in Chile, here is also full of rubbish in the desert areas. Like people dump their stuff, normally construction things, here on the side next to the road, and just try to bury it not really well. And the whole coast around here looks like that. City at the coast of the desert. We always end up in the markets, in the middle of them. It really is the touristic place, the beach place for all the people we left Mollendo, the waves were really not surfable, so we will continue along the coast towards the north. Maybe we stop in some of or one of the beaches there to have lunch or so before we still figure out what to do here. I always say the same, but kind of like we don't have it really planned through, mainly because of the weather. Like we left Arequipa and there's going to be rain every single day from now on in the afternoon, and here it's going to be cloudy like this for I don't know how many weeks. So still need to figure out. We cannot really go towards inland because it's going to be rain and more rain and rain and rain, so the path is going to be terrible. There are some beautiful canyons here, not too far from here, but with all the rain, it's just not going to be pleasurable at all. So most probably we stay along the coast and see if we can surf, and if not, just stay a bit low. We'll see.
We were finally at the ocean, but it was still a desert. We have been in many deserts, the Middle East, North and South Africa, Argentina, Bolivia, even though the landscape here and in northern Chile looks similar to the setup in Namibia. This desert felt especially hostile. It was hot, humid, windy, dusty, and the sun was incredibly strong. Definitely not a place to spend much time outside. Surprisingly, every once in a while, lush green valleys cut through the desert, channeling the water from the high mountains back to the sea. But as soon as we left the valley, the harsh desert reminded us where we were. We didn't feel like spending much time here, so we kept driving.
Justin just got a warning in his phone saying that there's...
Needs to pee.
Not really. No, he got a warning in his phone suddenly that there's a risk of several rivers or flooding.
Severe flood warning.
Yeah, flood, yeah. Warning, but also for other kinds of things. Like it could be also landslides and so on. It's just saying that there's raining too much, and then the whole area where we were in Arequipa and so on is actually in warning for water. This is the river that Justin got the warning for. This is next to the sea.
That stretch of the coast looks exactly like Skeleton Coast, but with more hills, with more mountains. Each valley seemed to specialize in a certain crop. Here was olives.
I mean, it's 40 degrees here in the back, and it's terrible. We are just in front of the Nazca Lines, and there are several ones you can see here. Up to 21, the principal ones. And from this tower we can see 3 of them. So let's go up. Wanted to fly the drone because the best view of course is from the air, but it is terribly hot, and we know what happens when it's so hot and the sun is shining. The drone gets overheated and then it starts losing connection to our controller, and then we can lose the drones very easily, or like the battery lasts nothing. So yeah, we decided against doing it, because the last thing you want is to lose a drone in the Nazca Lines where you are not allowed to even walk. So no, we are not doing that. So here's some satellite pictures of how they look. Yeah, we could see 3 from the tower, but yeah, pretty sure it would look amazing from the air if you take a plane or you fly the drone. Sometimes we cannot see everything.
For Instagram. On the 3rd day after reaching the coast, we found ourselves in Inca, famous for its sand dunes and a small lagoon surrounded by palm trees. After 3 days in the car, seeing so many people felt quite overwhelming.
The place is absolutely chaos with all the tour buses, and now we are stuck there, we cannot get out. Actually, and we are not spending any time here. Like with the dune or everything, it's just completely messed up. Vámonos, vámonos, vámonos.
We didn't bother climbing the dune. Instead, we painted our compass west and headed for the coast. Again, what we didn't know was that we had 60 kilometers of rough, rugged terrain ahead, and the night was approaching fast. At the beginning of our trip, we would always let down the tire pressure, even for short off-road sections. Over the months, the definition of short and off-road shifted, so we drove way too long with highway pressure, which we'd soon learn was a little too much for the car. This will give us quite some headache in the next weeks, until we reach Cartagena.
We are in Paracas Reserve, and today is Karsten's birthday, so let's have some pancakes. The Garmin is sometimes really funny. Yeah, he wants us to go up that dune. No way. We just drove a couple of kilometers and the engine is not running smoothly. Every couple of seconds there's a noise coming and going.
From where we camped, it was another 60 kilometers to the next city. After driving 4 days straight, corrugations were just a little bit too much for us.
Flamingos! We see flamingos everywhere in this group. We are out of Paracas Reserve and at the moment driving through Pisco. Here's the origin of Pisco sour. air tires or compressor. It's not so great anymore. Still no idea why. Has quite a few years and it was $50, so cannot ask a lot more about it. But yeah, we will maybe eat a bit later and continue towards Cerro Azul, where there could be some waves we can surf.
So much to the plan. We checked out several surf spots on our way north, but quickly realized it would be difficult to surf or even find a place to sleep, especially during the peak holiday season. This became a problem as we got closer and closer to Lima. One thing was certain. We didn't want to camp anywhere around or even in Lima. The city has a pretty infamous reputation for high crime rates. The events of the past few days meant we arrived in Lima 10 days earlier as planned. Once again, we got a room with secure parking and enjoyed a much needed break. In the end, it took us 4 days to drive 1,200 kilometers on the Pan American Highway from Arequipa to Lima, spending 8 to 10 hours per day in the car.
We absolutely needed this time to don't do anything and stay in one place and really enjoy being able to cook and having running water and really getting out of the sun and don't be out in the elements. It's really nice, but sometimes if you have it constantly, it is really, really harsh. So it was really great to be in a place like this, which is cool during the day and really chill, really to our core, to the point that now we get really itchy feet and want to continue. So it was really, really great. Let's go. We are packing now, and Casting will leave South America tomorrow. He's going back to Germany. And to close the circle, he's sick now. And actually I started being sick and now he's sick. So exactly as the time he arrived in Uruguay. We are at the airport. We left Casting at the airport and now we are going to try to leave Lima as soon as possible and go north towards the mountains. Let's see, because it's raining a lot still everywhere, but yeah, maybe we can cool down a bit. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's really hot at the moment in Lima. We were stopped at a red light and next to us there were several trucks, and one of them suddenly had a guy on top of the trailer, and I was like, oh, what is he doing? Is he trying to put something back up? And guy was like, no, he's actually stealing the stuff. So what do you mean? He just came to take those cones. This truck in the trailer has several 4 cones. Most probably he uses because he transports the load and needs to have some safety around, and it has 4 cones, and the guy just came, took the cones, tried to steal more because still was the red light, and then left. And then the other trucks were honking and so, but I don't think even the driver realized, and it was in front of us, next to us. Yeah, so I think we are leaving Lima soon.
Yeah, that's why we are leaving Lima and heading back to the mountains, back to the rain. Sounds pretty stupid, but trust me, there were good reasons for it.
Maybe we clean the car this way. Maybe.
Until then, enjoy the ride.
Carsten, the brother from Kai, is here. Hola. Hello. Let's go. getting difficult. The Iceman is protected.
Ist jetzt nicht super ungesund, ja.
Ja, ist gesund.
We're getting ready to go to Aconcagua.
Hallo! Also wir drehen jetzt um und fahren weg.